There are no states to this point in this country that I know of where educational policy has changed in any significant way without having the governor, the legislature, and the university system all at the table and all with common goals.
Not unlike what had to happen in the aftermath of Katrina and Rita. You had to have all sectors step up to the plate. It was at the local level, it was at the household level, it was at the city government level, it was at the parish or county level, and then certainly at the state level.
There are 330 civic and business leaders in Ohio who serve as trustees in our public colleges and universities. And so our initiative is really to create an infrastructure that will endure, that will enable these folks who will transcend the term limits of our legislators, our governor, our regents, our chancellor. Many of them will still be holding these positions of stewardship and trust.
When I talk to a trustee of a university, I now say the question is not, if you see a need in higher education in Ohio, the question is not how should my institution respond. The first question is, what institution should respond? How should we respond to this need collectively as a system? And this is a very different, a mode of thinking.
There's a very limited time that you can accumulate the knowledge you need to understand the complexity of something like a university system. Out of a body of 150 legislators, there are about 10 who have a fuller understanding of the broader issues in education. We created an education summit prior to our last legislative session, and they were awed by what they heard. It was a very, very encouraging process.
Citizens and taxpayers want elected officials and higher education and their education officials to work together because they see us as all part of one system. We need to understand the pressures that legislators and elected officials, the governor has in trying to meet all the needs of all Arizonans when we represent one sector of that. The flip of that would be for elected officials, including legislators and the governor, to also understand the rich resource that higher education leadership can also bring to the table.
We have to help provide the solutions, and we cannot be perceived as being the barrier, but yet we are the problem solvers. We have the intellectual capital. We brag about it all the time. So if we have that level of intellectual capital, then we ought to be able to come up with the good ideas to solve the problems.
Nobody's opposed to the idea of producing an educated population. If we can build an environment of trust and hearing and listening to each other, and we all have pretty similar agendas, I think there is a lot of opportunity for doing things in different ways that will meet everybody's goal.
That is the X factor. You can have all the greatest strategies in the world, and they will be nothing more but beautiful words on paper unless you develop the relationships and the trust and the buy-in from the many stakeholders.